Hey Samara. Hello. I will mix them up. Hello Samara. Hey Samara. Running on 3 hours of sleep, so if I'm silent. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, you take your time. We will be there. We will be here. We will be here. I'm still recovering, guys. So it's not that I'm 100% like, oh, great. So yeah. I don't know how long I'm going to stay. I don't know how many readings I'm going to do, but yeah, doing my best. Also, it's funny because I shuffled this oracle, and the keyword that is for all of us, not just me. The card that came out is prioritize. Priorizar in Spanish. It means prioritize. So definitely, I think that it's a very fitting message. Whoever needs to hear this, if you are running out of energy or feel a bit low in energy, just go at your pace and just stop doing a list of priorities and take care of whatever is on them or is necessary. Hey Hope, hey Akira. Yeah, prioritize. This is the keyword of the day, guys. Hey, Stray Kids Pink Lover. Very appropriate message. Yeah. It's funny because when I drink, I know you can hear the sound of me like drinking, but that's because of my thyroid. Like I always make sounds whenever I'm swallowing. It makes sounds. And here the day has been, it rained all night, but it wasn't, it was windy. It's still raining, but not so, like just tiny drops. Um, hey, Alt. So yeah, how are you guys? I was telling Hope yesterday that I watched the first episode of Lovely Runner. I wasn't planning on watching that because I know the plot it's a bit is a sensitive subject, especially for K-pop fans. I mean, I'm not that I wouldn't say like I'm a 100 K-popper, but since I'm a person and I have feelings, uh, when an idol passes away, you know, it leaves this very heavy energy around us as a collective, I guess, as a community. So when you see, you know, a K-drama based on that, I believe it was a webtoon originally. Um, but actually, I didn't cry that much. I did cry. um, because it's not just about the idol situation, it's also about her. The female lead also has her things, also her history of life, her challenges. So, you know, it's a very moving um, um, story, I would say. But there are some parts that are very loving that I don't know why I don't know the actors, but it feels like it's going to be emotional, but at the same time it touches you, you know. So I think that sometimes when we watch some certain K-dramas or certain content, not all of them reach to us, you know, in a very deep emotional way. I think that this K-drama it has so many messages, and it has so many sweet moments, and it has so many humane moments. Uh, so it's really hard not to relate at some point with her. So I love it. I love it. Like actually, like and the good thing is that they didn't stay very long with the idol situation, because that was very. They quickly like change, you know, because spoiler alert, there's like time travel. So yeah. Apparently, there's a drama that's profiting of having similarities to Jonghyun. Yeah, actually, like I don't know, maybe because I don't know much about Jonghyun's story. Maybe the fans could actually tell if it's like that. For me, I related more to Moonbin. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Moonbin is the one I know, like is something that I witnessed, like I was part of the community when this happened. So for me, it reminds me of him. It reminds me so much of him. So much. Even the dynamic between the members, it reminds me. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know Astro. I didn't know Moonbin that well. Like when it comes to observing him and his characteristics, but he reminds me so much of, like, the character reminds me of Moonbin. Yeah, I try to give it a chance because it got a lot of reviews, like from a K-drama point, you know, that I got positive reviews from people that do very good specific reviews about K-dramas, and I was like, everyone is talking about it. Initially, yes, everyone were like comparing, you know, the webtoon to if it was like Yeah, I know people. I know we talked also about it, that actually the fans think that it's inspired, but I also didn't want to watch it because of this. But they, I don't know if they were so like they were so much aware of how sensitive the topic is, um, especially in their society, that it's not just idols, it's a lot of people. That I believe that, I don't know why I thought that they would continue over and over with that, but no. Like there was a scene, there was a moment, and then we changed. You know, then we changed, and it's all over, you know. Um, it's all go back in time. But it's not just to save him. I think that for her, for the character, for the female lead, it's also important to go back in time for herself. You know, so it's the message is very, is of course is hopeful, and probably, yeah, it's a bit of fantasy. You know, time travel is like this. You know, they go back in time, just like Marry My Husband, and they fix things. So, but I was surprised that they didn't stay that long in that sad moment. Mm-hmm. Yes. Um, I seen fans put out clips though. Maybe the release date, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that also people were like, because of the time, because it was April, like everything happened at the same time, you know, and it seemed like, you know, like, what are you doing? But now that I did watch the first one, I have to watch the second one. Um, is more, I think I sort of, it's not just about the idol. I think that is more about her, because like Javi said, you know, the fan actually was in a wheelchair, so you know, there's some other human, like the fan also wasn't like living her best experience. So when she went back time, you know, it's like, this is why it gets so emotional, because like the female lead is so full of life, you know, is so seeing her get this second time, or this possibility, also that, you know, her and this supposed idol, they went to, I don't know if they went to the same school. Did they went to the same school? But initially she didn't pay attention to him. She found out later when she was an adult, and when she went back time, she started like having more interactions with him. So it's nice. It's nice. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Like, actually, like, you know that I have a very particular, personally, like, I know there's people that they love K dramas, but for me, I've been having some problems with watching K-dramas, honestly. Like, I try to keep up with Queen of Tears. Also, Queen of Tears, it's good. I mean, they have a lot of elements of, you know, because they introduce a lot of interesting, like, you know, secondary characters that you know from other series. So it's very dynamic, and also, you know, the acting is great. But it's lacking in profundity. Like, it doesn't leave me anything. It's like, oh yeah, I'm watching it because everyone is watching it. Then the other ones I don't like, I drop a lot. So finding this one that actually I'm not a fan of watching these K-dramas about these people in school years, the high school romances, you know, the teenage, like I go back in time and I'm a teenager again. Like, no, I wish they would they would do more like, you know, content for 30-year-old people with with real issues, like with the sad issues that we have at this time, and maybe resolve them magically also, so they can inspire us. Um, but I don't know. Maybe I think that I like the female lead and I like the male lead. Yeah, he's handsome, of course, but um, they transmit something. I don't know, something happened in me emotionally that I was like, maybe I'm close to having my period. Maybe it's because, you know, guys, I have been sick, so I don't know. Maybe emotionally I needed, you know, something sweet to watch. So when I saw her performance, that with her eyes, with his eyes as well, with their stare, the way they stare at each other, everything, her point of view as a fan as well, is so sweet. Is so sweet, even if it can get tragic from time to time. But it seems so well done, you know. Okay, thank you, Hope, for being here. Mm. Mm-hmm. Exactly, we need more dramas like a Sky Castle. Yes. Hmm. I didn't expect the lead to be that age. He looks so young, but he's a 91 liner, really? He looks so young, so young. I don't remember if he participated in other K dramas. I don't know. It's not that I didn't see him before, but I cannot remember where else I saw him. But he does have the. I don't want to like, you know, generalize, but he does kind of look like the typical handsome actor, tall, handsome, you know, pale. Um, mm. Also, my ride is late, so I'll be looking. Uh, thank you. Oh my. Um, but I don't know, guys. It's just moved me. I don't know how to explain it. Of course, that um, you know, I think that it's up to all of us. There's people that they say that they're not going to watch it because no, so that's also valid, and that's and also, you know, it's not that I just watched one episode. Maybe it can get weird then. I don't know, but the first one was pretty emotional, pretty emotional. But there's not much to watch, guys. There's not, like, I have Netflix, and I so regret it. Every time a month passes by, I say the same thing and I cancel Netflix and then I hire Netflix again. I'm like this. I'm like, 1 month I have it, then the other month I don't have it. I'm like this. The other day, what I did watch was Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon, that Beiduna is in it. It was great. It reminded me of this series. I don't know if you ever watched, guys, because this was a series in the 2000s that it was called Serenity. Or was it Firefly? No, it was Serenity. I believe it was Serenity. Here in my country, we watched it on Fox. And it was a sci-fi series. It was a sci-fi series. They were like people that they were like selling goods from one planet to the other planet or to another galaxy. I don't know how they call it. Um, I believe it's called Serenity because the ship was called Serenity. And it was very much about them being in the ship and being in the like traveling. Ah, there was Firefly Serenity both. Ah, yeah, that one. Yeah, I loved it. I remember I used to love so much the series. I loved so much the series. Um, and this Rebel Moon, it reminded me of that. It's a movie. Rebel Moon is a movie that it's available on Netflix. I did watch it for Baiduna because she was in it. It was cool, it was entertaining, but I heard there's people that didn't like it. I think that it's based also, I don't know if it's a book, it's a game, I don't know. But I believe that the fans, the fans are not very happy about the way this movie was done. And I know it's a second part. It has like part one and part two. So, and that I didn't understand. Like, I was like, if you're going to make it like part one and part two, why don't you just do a series of it? Sometimes Netflix does these things with some content that you're like, there's some series that you're like, you could just have done an entire movie of this. There was no necessity of you doing 10 episodes of this. And then there are some movies that you're like, it would have been really interesting if you had turned it into a series. Thank you. Home is great too. But yeah, guys, I don't know what you guys are watching, but I don't know. I think that I'm not the only one that feels like this. Like, K-dramas hasn't been that good. For me, at least. For me, I'm millennial, I'm old. Like, I'm very picky with what I like. I don't like romance. I don't like cheesy things. And if it's romance, I want this to be like very as natural as possible. Yeah, I don't. I feel like so disappointed. I don't know. I believe we had a time where there were a lot of K dramas to watch, and we were like, Yeah, I struggle because I feel like I start very, very excited. I'm like, okay, everyone is talking about it. Okay, now here it is. I'm going to watch it. And then I watch it and I cannot finish it. I cannot pass from episode one. And if I'm watching it, I start scrolling through my phone. That's when I know that it's not for me. When I start scrolling through my phone, I'm like, okay, I'm already distracted. This is not for me. Yeah, it's because we know the K-pop patterns. I agree. I agree. Since when you find that K-dramas are not that good anymore? I think that since last year, probably. Last year. I think last year or 2022 was good, I believe. I mean, last year I did enjoy Revenant. Remember that I told you this K-drama that Kim Tae-ri was in it, that it was about ghost, and ghost and I believe that shamans and other things. And I do love those sort of supernatural kind of things, mystery, thrillers. but yeah, since I figured out the sort of like the plot, how it goes, like for example, the toxic families. Like I'm a bit tired of watching the toxic families, like the toxic grandma, grandpa, the toxic mother-in-law that gets in the way of the relationship. That wants to control everyone. I understand that's typical of the culture. I mean, here in Latin America, we also have like relatives that are like that. Is the way they are, but when you're like, since I know how it is, since I know that family dynamic, I don't want to watch it in a drama. Like, I don't, and also the parents and their children's dynamic. Like, for example, they had been doing a very lazy job when it comes to mental health. Like they put the main lead or the female lead to have to suffer depression or some other mental issue, and then in 2 episodes they have it fixed. And no, it's not like that. So yeah, I watched one because I got curious about one of the male actors, which I won't mention his name, but it was so bad I couldn't pass episode 2. I accidentally almost got roped into watching those Japanese paper tiny episode dramas on my phone. 1990 week if dollars a week if you forget to unsubscribe after the free trial. No. Oh. About that, I already have a list of what I'm going to read. I have 4 because I'm not going to do that much because I'm not feeling that well, guys, and also there hasn't been something exciting to read about, honestly. I have 17 come back. Will Blackpink come back this year with new music? Then Doyoung solo and Aespa upcoming comeback. And then I wanted to pull some cards for Jennie and Jun, TXT Jehun dynamic, since they have been working in this show, variety show, and this is not romantic, guys. This is not to ship them. This is just to see how they view each other, and that's it. That's it. Thank you, Stray Kids Pink Lover. We got all the drama the last 2 lives. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. Like all these separations. It was drama after drama, separations, relationships, rumors. There was so much. So much. I don't know why it is so, I don't know if it's my camera, sorry guys. But it feels like blurry. Maybe it's because of the humidity, because it was raining. So, yeah. Yeah, remember, guys, I asked you um, if there was something wrong with Winter. For me, what I got was mental, that she was struggling with something. Maybe she wasn't feeling her best, and she was a bit worried, probably. Um, but I got something. I remember I asked you guys when I pull cards for her, like I always have this very sad feeling. And I say it before I pull the cards and after I see the cards on the table, I'm like, I'm not getting that. Like she's so unstable, like she can be great at one moment and then at the next something is going to happen. So yeah, she has to take care of herself. She has to take care of herself. You know, there's some idols that I maybe it's because it's been a long time since I had been reading for them. So I'm starting to get used to how they make me feel when I pull cards for them, and I remember, for example, if I don't know, last year I got very sad vibes about someone, and in this year I pull cards again and I get the same vibe. It's like, for me, it's like very notorious. Like I have to say it. I have to say it. I feel like this person hasn't moved on or advanced from this feeling that they had last year. You know, it seems like there's like this always is with that person, at least energetically. I feel it. I feel it in me when I think about them. Not so much like what I get in the cards. It's a whole feeling when I think about them to pull the cards. They said Winter will be back for the promotions. The other one that just makes me so curious every time I read for him is Han. Is Stray Kids Han. Always. Always. Like for me, I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? Um, but well, guys, idol life is very sacrificing. It's a very demanding job. Now, Renjun also is dealing with some health issues that I'm not sure if these are health issues that he has. I think that it has to do with, you know, I read somewhere that he had a confrontation with the Sasan online, that he called this Sasan out and he called them a rat. Is it possible? Hey, Parvati. Resident Stay, I would say, Han, is so confusing. It's confusing, yeah. And it's so hard for me to, because I can see that he's going to do well. You know, like when we think about performance or when we think about work, the guy is okay. He's going to continue. He's going to, you know, he's very hardworking. But sometimes I wonder, like, where is your sense of happiness? Like, you know, why can't I just get a hint of a rat deserved? That. Hey to them. That. Stop hiding like a rat. I believe that has something to do with, because I could definitely see Renjun's Aries energy being activated by the Aries season. Probably he's not the only Aries or person that has a strong Aries placement. To feel like this season, the eclipse season, you know, feeling very much like, you know, like I'm coming for you. I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm not going to let you get away with it. I'm going to be assertive. So I think that I don't know. You know how SM is. You know how SM is. I don't know. And I did notice that I don't think it's a health issue. I think that he's not happy. He's very insatisfied with certain things, maybe with certain things about management, for example. And I don't know why. I haven't watched Renjun with the, very like, watching him. But the other day, I did watch them arriving to the airport. It was a clip from Dispatch. And the first, when they got out of the car, then they wait to cross the street, and then they put in line, they place themselves in line to get the pictures taken before entering the building, before entering the airport. And I remember everyone were in line, like everyone were in line, all the members or NCT Dream members, and he was the last one. And I remember that they were like sort of like filming the van where Renjun came out from. And then they went back and they focused on all the members that were already in line. And when he approached them, he also put himself in line next to them. They all looked at him. They all turned to look at him. And I think that was after this happened. And I watched the dynamic. And I know he had also a conversation with the photographer, with the cameraman. He asked the cameraman if he looked, that he didn't like the way he looked, or that he looked puffier, or that he looked, I don't know, like he said, I don't know if I look well, I don't think I look well, or something like this. And the cameraman was the camera person was very polite. They said, no, you look amazing. But and he would smile to the camera, but I sensed some, I don't know why, I got some unprocessed anger. When you are angry, or maybe you are angry at everyone, or you are just like, of course you don't want to be there, but I sense that watching him, I sense this, I don't know if they had a conflict before, if they had an argument before, if he has, if he is in a very, susceptible mode where he's like, don't touch me, don't talk to me, don't. And he would smile at the camera, but I could see the anger. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. SM is in chaos. A lot of employees are leaving. Yes. It makes sense they don't have much resources to protect their artists. Yeah. For how much SM idols deal with songs, I even wonder if SM promotes this behavior. This is beyond not protecting their idols. Yeah, I think that they promote it. Because somehow now Renjun has like a health issue, and you're not going to see him for a while after he had this, When is he enlisting? I don't know why I thought that it was the 11th. Wasn't it the 11th? I don't remember, but I don't know why I got the vibe that it was very early beginnings of April. It was very early beginnings. I don't know, maybe on Monday? I don't know why I think it's a 2-digit number. Timmy living SM is truly falling apart. Yeah. I mean, it feels like it. It feels like there's this tension, there's this tension. There's a lot of things that, of course, we do not know. But if employees are if they are starting to talk, something is going on, Also, I believe Boa also said something about retiring. I mean, the woman actually, she is 1 year younger than me. Boa. I think that she devoted so many years of her life to SM, to the industry, it's not that she's not going to have work. I'm sure she can still be in the industry, but sometimes, it's very healing to lose control a bit, to release the control. Times are changing. But also, honestly, guys, I don't know what's the plan of K-pop industry. Because I don't know, I think that they need to come out with something new to keep people entertained. Because just like what is going on with K-dramas, that I had been watching them since the pandemic, since 2020. In the last 2 years, I think that I seen it all, So I wonder if this is the same with K-pop, I think that there's a lot of insatisfaction with K-pop. There's people with talent, of course, idols, it's not their fault. They work really hard, but sometimes the music is not that amazing, like the lyrics are awful, the controversies, the fandoms, arguing, I think that we are missing the point of this is supposed to be entertainment. This is supposed to be entertainment. Also, we also have, not we, the company also has to evaluate, how are your artists feeling? Are you taking care of them? How are they? Because if you have them all burn out and wanting to leave and just always sick or always having something, it means that you're not taking care of them. They keep debuting these very young children. I don't know. Honestly, guys, I'm not an expert on music. I'm sure people that know about music, maybe they can probably give you a better point of view about, what maybe changes they need or they could do. But for me, from what I see from some of you that you guys tell me, like, I sort of follow this group, but the others I don't know. I used to follow this group, but now I don't. Like, oh yeah, I like this one, but I don't know about the others. Um, I think that people also are, the prices for concerts, that, I don't know. I think that people can be very devoted, but they are no fool. So I think that you cannot rely on BTS always. Like, they need to bring out something different, or I don't know. I think that also the fans, this is why also the fans are a bit not so happy, because music is not about music anymore. It's more about popularity. Mm. Mm. Boa birthed K-pop. Like, it's shocking to me, but it's really understandable. Yeah, K-pop is just not doing it for me anymore. Yeah, we may see a lot of idols going solo, breaking away from being in a group. Even my favorite groups, I feel like they are losing their charm, their excitement I had when I first got into K-pop is anymore. Some people might get mad at me, but I think hype is a huge problem. Everything changes so fast and it's all mass produced. This is why the public gets tired so fast. Hey, why? Also, the industry is so oversaturated, so it feels like we've seen it all. Now their goal is to hit it in the US, so everything is westernized. That also, but they don't realize that what is making us boring. They always had pop industry. We want to K-pop because we wanted something else. Western validation in K-pop, not sounding like K-pop. Yeah, actually, I find myself listening to all groups, like groups from 2012, that maybe I didn't know about before, but now I go back to listen to their first albums because I don't like the new, and also TikTok, guys, TikTok challenges. It had ruined it for me. It had ruined it for me. Like, if they expect me to listen to the whole song, no, I already watched TikTok and I watch a lot of challenges. Yeah, like 700 or 800 USD for CN Hyper or TXT. Nope. I don't know what is going on with idol challenges, especially YouTube shorts. Yeah. It's just that also, and the other day, I remember, guys, that I told you that I started, wait, don't comment that I'm going to block someone. Yeah. I remember that I started following this lady that her username is X Avenue, and she creates content. She does reviews for Chinese dramas. I believe she's Chinese as well. But I believe she resides in Canada. She's from Canada. She speaks English, and she's so intelligent. Like, she's so eloquent. Like, I love her. Like, I don't even know these Chinese dramas that she talks about. I know a few, but not so much. But I actually go and rewatch her 2 hours live stream because she has such an interesting view of what is going on with actors, with Chinese actors. And she talks about the idol acting. You know, that she says that it's like ruining the possibility to get a good drama or a good plot or good acting, just good acting, because it has become very popular for them through the years to have these idols, these very famous idols, act into acting. And it's not like we see in Korea, that is like one or two, and they have probably fewer lines. No, in here it's like they give this idol, they give him the whole, like they give him it's all his face, and then probably there's another idol that also is working with him, so they both are co-stars. So she was telling that she knows, she can predict how good, like how bad the C-drama is going to be based on if it's an idol drama. And she was explaining that it's not that, okay, like the idol it doesn't have the possibility to actually, like, yeah, you can debut as an actor, maybe you didn't get, the best performance, but you can improve. But she was mentioning like how difficult it's for that to happen when you have the fandoms. When you have these people pushing it, pushing blindly following this Chinese drama and saying it's the best thing you ever saw, you ever watched. It's the best C-drama of the century because it's this famous idol or this famous guy in it, or this beautiful man or this beautiful girl in it. So I believe that in a lot of industries like this, when you have a lot of like these very huge fandoms that they like go, all of them go to support a project, there's no critical thinking. There's not a person that can be like, hello, I think that it wasn't that good. Like, I'm not attacking anyone, but I personally didn't like it, and they will cancel you. There's no room. There's a huge denial, like no one talks bad about, like, and even for people that makes reviews of some, this is why I like her way of, expressing certain things, because she's so intelligent, and she also knows, because she knows probably she got backlash at some point. So she knows like what to talk about and what not to talk about, because she knows who is who in the industry probably, and she is probably like very used to seeing certain performances like being awful, but because you have this famous guy or this beautiful girl, it's like, oh no, they are the couple of the century, like the shippers, and like you cannot beat that. When you have those people like following blindly, like you cannot. There's no room, guys. There's no room for improvement. There's no room for improvement because they will not let it pass. They will not let the criticism pass. No. Mm. Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm going to start because I always tell you that I'm not going to be for long here connected because I'm starting to have a headache. But you know, it's been a while since we talked, so I always get hung up. Like I always am excited to read you. Okay, we're going to start with 17 comeback. Oh. 17 new comeback. Very positive. Very positive for 17. Oh wait guys, I didn't I didn't write down the timestamps. Then I go crazy when I have to look for them. Okay. There are major arcanas, they guys. Okay, for 17 new comeback, we start with the 4 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, 10 of Cups, Justice, Temperance, and from this other deck I got the card of Moon, the Moon, that it says confront. So this is something that I also remember. I know there's people, because I read the comment section, I know there's people that ask me for a reading for 17 for this year. I believe I did a reading for 17 2024 on a live stream. I remember I pulled cards for them. I don't know if I did it before the year end on 2023, but I remember I did read for them for this year how they were going to go. I cannot find it where, because you know I would you know, I would let you know guys, or I would create a TikTok of it and I would be like, okay, here, the 17 2024 reading. But I know I did it. And this reading, what I see here is very similar to the vibe that I got back then when I read for how this year was going to be for them. This is something that I always get for 17. I think that 17, in the middle we have the card of success, you know, the 10. We also have Justice, Temperance. But then, you know, the card that finishes this all is the Moon card. That the keyword in here is confront. But I don't know if this happens to all 17 members, because I always have the feeling that whenever I read for 17, I think that I cannot sort of, like, I don't want to be general in a 17 reading, because I feel like the group is sort of divided into 2 subunits, I would say. Like, there's a part that feels a certain way, and then there's a part that is so happy and satisfied. So whenever I read for 17, I do get this vibe of, you know, separation or division in ideas or perceptions about what's going on. Because we start with the 4 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. So, you know, the 5 of Wands is always, you know, in the Rider White is these people celebrating, you know, and here we have the keyword of completion. So, you know, there's a lot of, they definitely won a lot of awards last year. You know, they come from a very successful end of the year. They work really hard. But then we have the 5 of Cups. So I feel that the 5 of Cups definitely lets me know that the guys have been very blessed last year with achievements, and I believe that 2024 is going to also be a year of a lot of achievements. I also see it here with the Justice. I also get the vibe that the guys will get the recognition that they deserve. You know, the Justice is like, you know, it's finally here, guys. You deserve it. You waited all these years. It's here for you. it's time to heal. It's time for you to, grab the award, grab the winnings. Like, you deserve it, guys. It's time to heal. But also with the Five of Cups, there's this. I think that there's some members, or there's this divided opinion about what success is. I think that there are people that, even though they are very happy with how 17 is going, what they are winning, the recognition, all the good things that they are getting, maybe as opportunities as well. But there's this feeling of like, in here, like the card that it says regret. I think that there are some members that they are not that happy with the way 17 is being managed. It's like, yeah, everything is so positive, everything is so good for us. Nevertheless, I wish we could go back to times where things were more simple. Or I wish we could go back to being us. I think that there's a very clear division that is like, they are very grateful, they love the experience, they will continue to participate. There's not an ending here, there's not a separation. The division is between perceptions. I think that there are some members that they're just so happy and excited. When you get new toys or you get new exciting experiences and you're like, oh yeah, I love this because I never got this before. So I'm like a child. I'm so willing to experience, and I love that everything is so fun and everything is so abundant for us. They have the 10 of Cups in the middle. So definitely the guys have everything and more. When it comes to resources, when it comes to people being around them, when it comes to, the people attending their necessities, being like, okay, guys, what do you need? We will assist you. We will help you. And probably 17, they never got this. They never got the 10 of Cups. They never got this. They were this group that they struggle a lot, with resources or with recognition and with winning, But at the same time, there's some members that I feel like it's very necessary for me to also show you the shadow side, that is not like all of them think the same. No, there's a part that thinks differently. There's a part that actually doesn't like the exposure very much. They would prefer the group to be the way they were back then, and not now where they are surrounded by a lot of beautiful things, and a lot of like abundance, and everyone calling your name. And it's like, there are some people that maybe they are a bit more humble, they just don't want to be bothered, and they're like, I wish we could go back to a time where we didn't have this attention. I think that I enjoyed what I was doing the more back then. And I think that also is very valid to sort of like, accept that this is a group of a lot of people. So it's not like all of them share a singular brain cell and all of them are connected and all of them think the same. But yeah, there's a part that is like, I don't like this. I'm good for you that you got all your expensive things. I just want to go home, And yeah, because the moon card that it says confront, definitely the moon card, it probably lets you know about the shadow side of being successful. And this is what I want to say, is that even though there's success and there's fulfillment and there's happiness, there's also a moment to confront your own shadow. So I guess 17 members will have to continue to do a lot of inner work, to sort of be like, okay, how do I feel with having all this recognition? Or how do I feel with having all these good things happening to me? Because they definitely come from a place where they didn't have much, or they had a lot of regrets, like the Five of Cups, that lot of regrets, like, I didn't have what I needed, no one helped me, no one helped us, no one saw us, and there's people that are more attached to that memory, and then there are others that are like, no, I don't remember. the only thing I remember is that I'm happy now. So I think that probably, you could see a sort of like with the moon and the Ten of Cups. I can feel like this year is going to be very successful, but they will also have to deal with the dark side of being successful. There could be some moments of interruptions, or there could be some mistakes, there could be something, or maybe even some conflicts with others, conflicts with the audience, or maybe, maybe even, maybe, I don't think it's the fans because I don't see the internet in here, but there is an inner conflict that is going on in 17's dynamic because of this success. It's like they need more emotional support to navigate success and navigate the exposure, because probably, this is like a wheel. The more recognition, the more they win, the more compromised they are, or the more they expect of them. So this can be actually like a cycle, a vicious cycle of the guys always, having to prove themselves and being better and better and better and better. And it's like having this huge weight on their shoulders to sustain this feeling of success. That every time you get a wish come true, there's always, the shadow side of the challenge of this, with the Justice and the Temperance, definitely is this year is very special because they're going to find the balance that they need. They're going to find the balance, and they're going to find some healing. They also need to probably work more on their individual relationships, their relationships with others. Don't stay just in the stardom. Don't just stay that in what I think that the guys are also changing emotionally. They are not the same. They are more mature. They probably, all of them want different things. I don't see like conflict between them, but I think that there's some that they are like, oh yeah, thank you so much guys for giving this to me. But yeah, like, and people being like, but aren't you happy? Aren't you happy that you are number one? And then be like, yeah, I guess I'm like, it's like 70 has always been good. This is not like they are discovering something, like the talent has always been there. It's just that now there's much more exposure. And with much more exposure, there's much more confrontation. Maybe people from the outside sort of like, reflecting or mirroring them and their own insecurities. So they have to take care of themselves mentally and spiritually. But it's going to be everything they do is going to be successful. So don't worry. Now it's starting to rain again. Okay. Going to continue. Going to continue with Blackpink, if they will have new music this year. Sorry guys that you see me that I'm shuffling so weirdly, it's because I cut myself in here, in my thumb, and it hurts. So I'm trying to not touch that part of my finger with the cards, with the sharpness of the cards, because the wound is a bit open yet. From what I can see here, for if Blackpink is going to release new music this year, I don't see it. Actually, I see it very like no. The cards are like no, no. Okay. For Blackpink, this music this year, we start with the Handman, Ten of Wands, King of Cups, Princess of Swords, and Eight of Swords. And then Eight of Swords again in this deck, that the keyword is helpless and hopeless. So yeah, not so positive actually, guys. I would say the answer is no. Yeah, I think that it has to do because there's someone that they are like, okay, if we create something as a group or a music, it has to be with this person, and there's no possibility for this person to work for them. So yeah, no. I see a lot of opposition, a lot of stagnation, a lot of conflict. Definitely, the girls, there's a lot of heavy discussions that I think that it would take them like the whole year to just like get to a very civil conversation. I think that it's just no, and also there's a lot of conflicts actually, guys. There's a lot of like, can we do this? No. How about if we, from both parties? From the party that maybe wants the girls to have something or to do something together, and them themselves. You know, there's like this, like there's not a good vibe in here. I think that there's no agreement at all. I think that there's also the feeling that Blackpink as a brand, because I have the Handman and in oppression, so I could sort of see Blackpink as a brand being sort of like put on hold and being oppressed, you know, sort of them being able to work with the brand or being able to work with their name as a group. I think that it's being put on hold, and it's also it has a lot of oppression. They will not let them use it. No. And yeah, in the middle, I could see the one that manages the CEO, the one that manages everything. He is the reason why this is going to remain stuck. Like if they have, if the girls have any ideas or just like want to do something, he's going to be like, no. And he's very stubborn looking at it. Like, you know, I'm going to give you guys name in the dungeon. Like, no. But the girls also, I think that the girls also are not like, it's not like they are like, please let us do something together. No, not that. They also are turning their backs on him. They're also turning like yeah, okay, like go and keep pressuring others. Like we are no longer working for you. The girls also have their temper. Like don't think that they are just like you know, victims of the circumstances. No, the girls also have their conditions, and they are also very strong in their own individual careers, like where they have the control, they have, you know, they are making a lot of decisions about themselves. So, you know, the girls are also very much focused on themselves. So it's incompatibility from whatever point of view you want to see it. There's incompatibility. It's not the year, no. But I think that definitely, maybe the guys, because he's busy with the other groups, I think that he will keep Blackpink's brand on the side. Yeah, we have also the last card, like hopeless and helpless. So yeah, moment of inaction, moments where, you know, I think that it's better to not push this matter, you know, just let the girls do their thing. They will come back when they're ready. But I think that there's someone that is not it's not making things easier for them. So, it's not just about the girls being like, oh, because I'm busy with my own things. No, it's also because this guy is so, like, is a control freak. So, no. Okay. Now for Doyoung solo. It's very good. For Doyoung solo, we start with the Nine of Swords, the Hermit, Ten of Cups in the middle, very good, the Moon, and Ten of Pentacles. It reminds me a lot of 17 reading because they almost got the same. Two of Cups coming together. I wonder, I know that Doyoung had a controversy, I believe, because of some brand that was it McDonald's? I know he got backlash because of this, and I can sort of see it here being influenced. Like the guy definitely is scared. We have the card of Nine of Swords, the Spirit, and the Hermit. So I think that probably this opportunity of him being like doing a solo, he has a lot of fears. I don't think that the guy has fears because he's like, okay, I'm not good enough, like I don't have the skills, I'm not talented. Actually, he is. He had the card of success. So definitely the solo is going to be successful. It's going to be very beautiful, very emotional. It's going to be very delicate, very well done. It's also going to be very appealing when it comes to emotions, with his voice. Maybe it's going to be romantic. But there's something here with the Moon, the Hermit, the Nine of Swords. So I'm like, what is Doyoung afraid of? I'm like, I think that he definitely is going to enjoy, she's going to enjoy this solo. And I think that when I think about the word solo, I think that there's something about him enjoying being solo. Like, it's not just about working on himself, but I think that because there seems to be like the outside world is very harsh on Doyoung sometimes. And I think I see him sort of isolating himself. This is why I was like, okay, maybe if he had a scandal or he has some issues with people on the internet, but I feel like he has fears, and this is not the first time that I say this. I believe when I read for him in Aquarius season, I said the same thing. Like the guy is followed by irrational fears. Like probably he cannot sleep. Like this is why I'm so like, even when the success literally is here, the success, the recognition, the solo is going to do well. Like definitely this is not about him being worried about not having jobs or not having opportunities. Actually, he's doing very well. He's very prosperous. But with the Moon card in the middle of, he also got another 10. He didn't only got the 10 of success here, the 10, he also got the 10 of Pentacles, prosperity. So he has, like, this solo is going to do amazing. I mean, not just monetarily, like when it comes to money, it's also going to be like very fulfilling for him as an artist. Like, like the guy is a 10. When I see all these 10s, it's like him as an artist, he is a 10. It's like he checks all the boxes. Like he's not an amateur. He's not. But when I see this, when in the middle of this success, I see the hermit, I see the moon, and I'm like, why are you in the darkness? Like, what is going on with you? Like, why are you hiding like this? Like, in the middle of all this success, in the middle of everything, there's fears. There's fears, there's... yeah, we have the card of the star. Look at this beautiful star card. Like another, like a card that it says like somehow, that 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 the guy is like protected from the heavens. I don't know. Like he's really lucky. He's really lucky. But I think that what I see here is that he is worried about something. Like he's worried. I wonder what is going on. Because I think that he has been living with this fear a lot of months now. And we have the Two of Cups. The keyword is coming together. So I wonder if he has a relationship and he's like worried about this relationship coming out. But actually, I see him very lonely. This is why I'm like, no, this is not about someone. Because if it was about someone, I would see it. Also, this star reading is not about his love life. It's about his solo work. So, probably the answer for him to release this level of anxiety that he has is to work with others. I know someone mentioned Doyoung. So definitely I could see that the answer of it would be for him to have, someone to work with. Because I feel like the guy is just like, it's not just him being a loner. I think that he's afraid. So I'm like, Like among all this success, there's this paranoia, I would say. Like, I wonder what's going on, or maybe, this association that he has, probably he has association with others, not just Taeyeon in the album, and maybe is controversial. Maybe is like rumors. Yeah, probably why. I feel like a lot of I feel like he represses himself so much. Like he is so vulnerable to fears. So I'm like, why? Like if you are a 10, he had the 2 10s, like the most successful cards of all the deck. And nevertheless, he's afraid. That's where we thrive. Pull for it. What should I pull for? Yeah, definitely, yeah. Doyoung needs the help of others because he also has a tendency to isolate himself. He had a hermit. So I think that he's a guy that probably also the exposure, the criticism, maybe, yeah, he is a very sensitive person because this is not the first time. This is why I always reiterate these guys because since I've been reading for them, I'm starting to see patterns also in some readings. So, I think that I find it curious how a guy that is so talented, like he is so isolated, and he's in the middle of going through something so prosperous, and there's a still shadow in the middle, you know. What he's scared of? Okay. I'm going to pull 3 cards to see what he's scared of. Sorry guys, that I'm hearing the rain and okay. What is Doyoung afraid of? He's afraid of the pass of time. We start with the Wheel of Fortune. The 10. Yeah, the 10. It says a 10, so it's another 10. We have Princess of Water, that it would be like Page of Cups, that it says the keyword here is evolution. And we have the 9 of Swords again. Despair. And then I put an extra card and I got the Ace of Swords. Clarity of belief. I think he's afraid that his time is up in the industry. He's afraid of his own evolution. You know when you are when you have all these talents available, or you had grown so much and you reach a level where you're like, okay, till here, I cannot give anymore. You know, I don't have much to give. You know, I'm not. He probably also thinks a lot about the future. He thinks a lot about the future, and he just like, what is going to happen when I stop doing this? What am I going to do with my life? You know, a bit catastrophic, I would say. Like he just like, but yeah, starting with the Wheel of Fortune is the pass of time. He definitely is like, he's like, you know, going through cycles. He's burning some you know, some stages in his life. He's like, okay, I done this, checked. I done this, checked. This was my dream. I did it, check. I wanted to. This was an aspiration of mine. I achieved it, done. You know, and I think that for him it's like, how do I do to remain inspired? You know, how do I remain sensitive and connected to the craft if I feel like there's no future for me? But yeah, with the Ace of Swords, also clarity of beliefs, I think that this is something that it has to do with the way he was raised. You know, this is also a very, is a sword element, you know, here are the 9 of Swords. So it's like, you know, thinking about the end of the road. You know, when you think about the end of the road, that you are like, okay, I'm coming to the end of the road of my inspiration. Like, I don't know what's next. I'm scared. I don't know what else to do. Maybe it's age. You know, maybe he suffers from ageism. And he's like, oh no, I'm going to turn 30 and my life is going to be over. Like, you know, there's some people that really, they get very paranoid with age. You know, and I don't know, maybe he's thinking about enlisting, you know, he's thinking about the pass of time, and he's like freaking out about this. And I think that he knows this, you know, because he has the Ace of Swords, so there's a lot of clarity to this. He knows that it's his own mind. He knows that he had always been like this. It's his own mindset. This is not something that he does on purpose, but probably he have a tendency of worrying too much. He worries for the smallest things. He gets in desperation mode right away. It's like he breathes, it's desperation mode. He something happens in a new chapter, desperation mode. Like he is like, I would also like, I wonder if he's like, I don't know how you say it in English, hypochondriac, is it? In Spanish we call it hipocondriaco. That is the person that thinks that they have illnesses, that they create, like they have the symptoms and they already think that they have a lot of illnesses. He probably functions like that. He's very mental, very much about ideas, perceptions. Hypochondriac, death. Yeah, yeah. I think that this is the thing. I think he's afraid of evolving as a person. I think that he's just focusing on how, I think that probably it has to do that he had spent a lot of years focusing on evolving and growing as an artist. But the human part, Doyoung the man, Doyoung the persona, Doyoung the guy, Doyoung the human, is very much set to a side. So, and also it's like he is emotional, but he is so rational that he doesn't allow it to pass. He just blocks it with more thoughts, with more ideas, with more perceptions, with more nightmares. Yeah, I think that definitely the guy needs to learn to be normal. He needs to have a hobby. I don't know if he has it, but I think that he needs to do something besides being an idol. Maybe he's having like an identity crisis, about who am I on my own? Who am I? What are my personality traits? Not what others tell me that I am. Who am I? How do I see myself? Yeah, he could also like travel, go back to school. He needs a hobby. But not something, like something to make a career out of. No, he needs to experience regular things, just being a regular person. Yeah, it's important for him to get out of his head. Midlife crisis. Yeah. Because he's going to do great. This is why we were like sort of like talking about it, because we find it curious that even the cards are so good about this project, and then I don't see, I see fear, and I see, like, why are you so afraid if you're going to do okay, But also, when he has the Two of Cups, the card of coming together, maybe the guy needs a partner. Maybe the guy needs a girlfriend. Maybe he needs to experience one-on-one intimacy. Just as simple as a deep bond, But he's so afraid. I sort of get it that he's afraid. He would be afraid to open up because he lives in a very toxic environment. Maybe he has also signs, or he has people going around his apartment or where he lives or where he goes, and the guy is afraid. I believe he's afraid. This is why he doesn't want to hang out with others. The guy knows. Okay, Now for Aespa upcoming comeback. Today was the day of comeback. Are we sure we're getting the comeback? It's going to do okay. It's going to do good. But there could be a delay. At least, I don't know if you guys are waiting for winter. I don't know. I see someone's absence. I see absence. So, okay. For Aespa upcoming comeback, we start with the Seven of Pentacles, Three of Cups, the Hermit in the middle of the reading, Queen of Swords, and the High Priestess. And you know, and the last card as the energy, and overall we have Nine of Pentacles, well-deserved reward. So I think that if they delay it, or if there's some interruptions, or if winter is not in there, or if there's something going on in here, because there's a lot of silence, I don't know why again, there's a lot of mysteriousness in here, a lot of things that have been said or explained. I think that the outcome is going to be great. Like, they have the Nine of Pentacles, so the comeback is going to be successful. Like, the comeback, standing alone, the comeback as a project is going to do great. It's going to get them the reward that they hope for when it comes to material gain, I would say. But when it comes to the group's dynamic, I see that they really have like a lot of expectations. There's this feeling with the Three of Cups that they really want to celebrate this together, all of them, or they want to, like, there's this feeling of like, okay, this is something that we want to do together. Like, even if maybe there's not a member present, there's a feeling of like, okay, we can postpone this. You know, this is not tragic, actually, guys. I mean, there's not a sentiment of like, if this is postponed or if someone is missing, like, this is not going to affect something. Actually, I think that there's a lot of things that are being kept. There's a lot of silence. There's a lot of timeout. I think that there's some members that they definitely need a timeout. So if this is like delayed, or if this is like, I don't see it postponed, but there's a lot of silence. I don't know why. I have the Hermit and I have the High Priestess. So definitely they're not going to tell the audience or the fans the reality. They are not going to tell the reality about the member, because we have the Queen of Swords in here. So it could be a specific member. I think it could be Winter, but I don't know. The Queen of Swords could also be Karina, you know, or someone else. I don't know, because there's like, they all of them have, any of them actually could be this Queen of Swords. But since we were talking about Winter and Winter's health, I don't know. I think that whoever this member is, there's a lot of hermetism around this person. Like, there's this silence. Like, there's this, like, she needs to be alone, or she needs to be left alone, or, you know, where she's going, no one knows, or no one talks about her, or she doesn't talk, or she doesn't communicate, or she doesn't do an update, you know. So yeah, and I think that this is necessary. This is necessary, you know, the reason why they're keeping it so confidential, I would say. You know, it's, you know, it probably is to not affect, you know, maybe the fans' expectations. You know, the fans probably, you know, they're looking forward this comeback, and they're like, okay, no, don't, like, please don't bring me bad news. But at the end, see, we have the Six of Wands, so it says victory. So whatever, if they have like a member hidden, I don't know why. I think that it's not hiatus, it's hidden. Like, because I have this high priestess in here, and I'm like, why are you keeping this like it's a secret when no one, when everyone knows? You know, why are you being so secretive? You know, like, oh no, we can't talk about this. Like, everyone knows, like you know. But at the end, you know, I mean, they know what they're doing, why they're handling things like this. This is not them being petty or being awful at organizations, like we always say, or we always, like, we are so against SM at this point. We are so fed up that, you know, it doesn't take that much for us to be like, oh, it's SM fault. But in this case, I think that they're trying to take care of the girls. But at the end, whatever the situation is, there's going to be a victory. It's going to do great. Is she's going to come back, or she's going to recover, or you're going to hear from her? Like, it's going to do okay, but probably there needs a moment of, you know, silence. Do not interrupt her. Like, let her be by herself. I don't think that it's about rest. I don't think it's about rest. It's about silence. So this is why I'm like, is this Winter or is this Karina? You know, because I'm like, why does this female feel so secretive? And like she's isolating herself on purpose. So I wonder who this is. But what is a collapse lung, guys? Like, if you have some idea of, because like I read it in Spanish, and I was like, that sounds painful and dramatic. Like honestly, like, but maybe you guys know about what this condition is about. Like, how can you, like, is this something that suddenly happens to you, or is something that it can be developed because of another reasons? Because it sounds so aggressive. Like, actually, like, I was afraid when I read it. I was like, really? Because the lung is so necessary for our body. I had pneumonia when I was a child, so and I spent like two months like in the hospital, so, and they wouldn't let me go, and they even like used this huge needle to go through my back to check if I had liquids in my lung yet. So I know what it's like to have a lung condition, and it's painful, guys. It's so painful. Your whole body hurts. It's so painful. Like, maybe people is like, oh, it's respiratory. It feels like your whole body is going to fall. It's going to collapse. Like, so I don't know about this condition. Oh, extremely painful. This happens over time. Rami from Baby Monster had it too. I didn't realize how common it until I heard of what happened to Winter. I believe both, but it's apparently more common when you have an accident attack. Ah, she had to have problems breathing for a minute. I remember when I had pneumonia, I also had anemia. So, you know, it's like, it's a whole, it's a whole package, you know, it's not just one condition, and that's it. It attacks a lot of parts. But they are so tiny. They are so skinny. Like, I know Asian people are skinny by nature. Their structure is not the same as like other races. But they're so tiny. You know, that when I think about such a strong, like a collapse of a lung, like an organ. Is one air seeps into the space between the chest and the lung. Oh! It's like air is going where it shouldn't. Oh my God. Poor woman. It sounds so painful. Wow. Oh, I was pulling my cards away and I had to pull some cards for Jennie and Jun. I always call him Jun, it's Jeonjun. Jeonjun. Sorry guys. Oh, she could have felt while dancing sign to her. Okay, guys, this dynamic reading is going to be very brief. It's not going to. It's not for the Lulus. It's not for shippers. It's just dynamic. Just see how they think, what they think of each other now that they're working together. Okay, let's pull some cards for Jennie. How does Jennie see Jeonjun? And how does Jeonjun see Jennie? Yeah, the Two of Cups. In other words, behave. Yes. The Two of Cups. They got the Two of Cups coming together. So definitely they have the potential to build a friendship. They have the potential to build a friendship, or if they have to keep working together, their dynamic is going to be excellent. Very professional. Like they definitely are like sort of they're very understanding of. I don't know why I feel like there's this, you know, because the Two of Cups is not just about like connection. It's also about you knowing, you know, when how to build a dynamic with someone so you don't interrupt or you don't overwhelm them, because probably you are getting to know them and you don't know, like, should I talk more or should I not talk? You know, it's sort of like dancing tango that you have to move, like, you know, there's about like building this dynamic that is about understanding the other one. From Jennie's perspective about how does she see Jeonjun of TXT, we start with the prince, that this would be like the Knight of Wands, Five of Cups, and a Four of Pentacles. So I definitely think that Jennie, yeah, there are two earth signs. There's this, I would say there's this respect. There's respect. There's like, okay, like I'm kind of seeing how you are. Like, I don't want to interrupt you in your personal space. So if I'm friendly, but I'm waiting to sort of receive the report from you to know if I can advance or not. You know, they are like this. They're like this, but not in an awkward way. It's like more like oh, like respect. I get the vibe respect. I don't know why I get it in my mind, like respect, 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 from both parties. She definitely sees Junghoon as someone very very hyperactive. You know, he is represented here by the, I wouldn't say this is the Knight of Wands. I would say this is the Page. This is the Page. Here is, it says Prince of Wands, and the keyword is aspiration. So definitely she sees Jeonjun as someone that aspires a lot. This is a guy that definitely is very passionate, and he's also very driven, and he's very ambitious. So she definitely is like, okay, I know what you're here for. Like, they are working together, they're doing this, they're working on this show. She's like, this guy is going places. Because yeah, he's nice, he's cool, he's so charming, but the guy aspires to go places. He's very aspirational. If you notice, the page of wands can sound very impulsive, but it's like he always has a direction. He's always going somewhere. He's always starting something. And if you notice how this it seems like he has angel wings. He's like up, he's like going to the skies. He's a very passionate person. He's like, okay, I will go and do my best, and I will be the best. Very competitive, very driven, a bit careless, I would say. There's something about him probably getting very excited or very competitive and not measuring himself. But the guy is very aspirational. It's like the guy, whatever he does, he doesn't do it because, I'm here to help you guys. No, he wants to win for himself. He's very ambitious, he's very driven, he's very passionate. Like, the guy has this inner desire and to be the best, and probably to stand out. So she sees it. She sees it like, you are a celebrity. Definitely, you are a celebrity. Also with the Five of Cups and the Four of Pentacles, I think that also behind this, I think that she sees Jeonjun as someone that has big dreams. Aspirational, I would say that she sort of sees that he wants to be, I don't know if he already is, but when you see someone and you're like, you want to be the it boy, right? Or you want to be the next, the popular, like the best of all, right? Of your generation, right? I know I know people that are fan of Jeonjun. I read it because I want to pronounce it correctly. I know the people that are fans of him. I know a lot of people that are fans of him, and they say that he's perfect, that he's very good at everything. So, I think that with his aspiration, she's like, I know what you're up to. You want to be like, as if he wants to dethrone someone and be the it boy of his generation, or it's like he wants to be the popular one. There's something, but here with the Five of Cups, the keyword is regret, and then we have the card of Four of Pentacles that it says order. So there's something about him probably, wanting to be more, do more, be more popular, be more out there, like being a bit more daring, probably a bit more masculine. There's something very passionate about him. Him probably being very, very more masculine and more daring. And with the Five of Cups, it's like, I don't know if someone told him like, you are doing a lot. Stop it. This is not your moment. This is not your moment. Like, sort of know your place. And also with the Four of Pentacles, it's something that it has to do with order. There's a part of him that he's been asked to remain in order. It's like, do not get too greedy. It's like, slow down, And I think that from Jennie's perspective, I can see that she sees that Jeonjun has a lot of potential, that he could be more. But actually, he's been told by someone, no, you cannot stand out that much. Like, respect your place. There's others. You are not a priority. So she's like, oh, like this is sad. The guy actually like has a lot of potential. He could do more with his passion or with his charisma. He could be more. I see it. Maybe she wants to take him to her company and sign him as a soloist. Can you imagine? But she's like, oh, like she sees how passionate he is about being the best or doing his best. And she's like, oh, like that's so cool. Like he is so cool, but they don't let him grow. Like, and there's a lot of regret. She sees that he is like he wants to be more, but there's a part of him that is like, no, okay, I better like, okay. And she's like, oh, like this a shame. Like this a shame that he has all these, all this potential, and somehow he has to wait for someone's approval. It's like, no, you're being too much. It's like contain yourself, contain your vibe or your happiness. Don't smile too much. Like show that you are a bit shy and mysterious. And the guy actually has a great personality. He's not shy at all. So, from Jeonju's part about Jennie, we start very strong with the death card from Jennie. Death card, the High Priestess. I love this High Priestess. It's so cute. It's so creepy, but it's so cute because she's so bluish. And the Emperor. So definitely, yeah, he sees Jennie as a boss. He sees Jennie's transformation into a boss. Definitely, he also sees Jennie as, I think that he doesn't see Jennie as a person. He sees Jennie as an entity, as a persona or as a brand, I would say. He sees Jennie as an enterprise or as a brand. He doesn't see her like a person. Because we have the Death card, the High Priestess, and the Emperor. So definitely he admires like Jennie a lot, and there's something about him seeing how she's transmuting all her energy, and that there's something very magical about her. Like the High Priestess is someone that is so, even when they talk, they are so mysterious. Like he thinks that Jennie has a lot of secrets from the industry. He's like, and this is why she's on top, or this is why she comes here as the Emperor, because she's like the secrets keeper. She knows things about the industry. She probably uses what she knows for her advantage. And he's like, I want a friend like Jennie. Jennie has everything under control. She has the Emperor, so she's like her own boss. She's basically her own boss. But he also acknowledges that probably when he's meeting her or when he interacted with her the first time, she was going through, the death card is about, leaving something behind, leaving her old self behind and going through this sort of death or transformation where she is no longer this woman that she used to be a few years ago. She has transformed. Now she's sort of channeling this energy, very powerful energy. It's a mix of feminine and also masculine, because she's sort of like, now she's on her own. She's like, it's like, okay, I have to do me. Like, I have to make this work. I have to make my projects work. And at the same time, I think that with the High Priestess, there's this feeling of like, I know what to say and I know what not to say when I'm around people. So even if I know they are part of this show, so there's something about if you see them interact, and you see them like having conversations with other people, like Jennie can talk a lot, but she's still a mystery. Like what is who she really is, or what she really means, or what she really knows, she's not going to share it with you. She's very good at keeping some things to herself for her own benefit. So he definitely sees that. Probably if they play games, like she's very smart because she knows how to keep. She's also very competitive. The Emperor is someone that loves to win as well. So if they play together, there's something about like, she's not that fragile, You know, she is mysterious. Definitely, she is mysterious. And yeah, they got the final card is the two of cups like coming together. Like I think that actually they could work in something together. Because they have the potential with the two of cups. They have the potential. They have the potential to work with some. I don't know. I think that she would be like a great influence for him. Like I don't know, giving him advice like you know you should do this, you should do that. Like you know, Jennie knows a lot about the industry. Like honestly like this is what I see in the cards, guys. I don't know much about Jennie. I only know what I see. But I think that definitely the girl knows a lot, and I think that for a guy like Jun, especially because she sees that he has the potential, but he's a guy that he sort of feels sorry for shining that much, you know, and it's like, you know, she's like, you cannot keep someone like that. If he has the potential to shine, like, you know, embrace it instead of keeping him, you know, being average or just being like, okay, like, don't, you know, don't be so popular. like, oh my God. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Wow. No, and even if I did, why would I did? Why would I read that? Oh my God. These shippers is a world in decadence. The shippers. Sometimes when I read people, I'm like, really? Oh my God. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I just laughed. Like, I'm going to go. I did my best today. It is starting to rain here, so yeah. Some combinations are so random. It's like. So I'm going to be back on Wednesday. We're going to do some other dynamic. If I have another Aries idol, I'm probably going to do it. I don't think I have some pendants like idols, but oh my God. It's unbelievable, guys. Sometimes we just have to laugh because it is this world. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Take care, you too. Have a great weekend. Bye.